Seventy-Two has 8 MPC pads per deck. There are many different pad modes that have functions from familiar cue points and loops to unique fader effects and customizable MIDI modes. You can assign and access up to 8 cue points per deck when cue mode is engaged. To add a cue point, press any unlit pad at the point in the track that you'd like to return to. Notice that any cue points associated with the track are visible on the track overview. Delete a cue point by holding Shift and pressing the corresponding pad. In pitch play mode, each pad plays the track from a hot cue at a different pitch. Hold Shift and select one of your cue points. The pad with the original pitch will be lit white, and each pad now corresponds to a specific transposition by semitones. Change the range of pitches with the parameter buttons. The Serato Pitch and Time plugin is included free with the 72 and must be installed to use pitch play. In auto loop mode, each pad triggers or releases an auto loop of a different length. The parameter buttons will double or halve the length of a playing loop. To shift the loop backward or forward in time, hold Shift and press the parameter buttons. In manual loop mode, you can create, save, and recall loops. There are 2 banks of 4 loops that you can access. To create a loop, press pad 5 to set the loop in point and pad 6 to set the out point. Button 7 toggles the activation state of your loop. To save a loop, while a loop is active, press an unlit pad on the top row. To select a saved loop, press a lit pad in the top row and press pad 8 to jump to that loop. The parameter buttons will double or halve the length of a playing loop. To shift the loop forward or backward in time, hold Shift and press the parameter buttons. To delete a saved loop, hold Shift and press a lit pad in the top row. Hold Shift and press Pad Mode button 2 to access the second bank of loops. In roll mode, each pad triggers a momentary loop roll of a different length. Make sure that Show Beat Jump Controls is disabled in the Serato DJ Pro setup menu. The parameter buttons will double or halve the length of a playing loop. To shift the loop backward or forward in time, hold Shift and press the parameter buttons. The software's loop grid determines the size of the loops available. Shift the loop grid with the parameter buttons, and the pad layout will shift to match it. In sampler mode, the pad will launch samples assigned in the Serato sampler. Press any lit pad to launch a sample. Hold Shift and press the pad again to stop the sample. The sampler has a dedicated filter for each deck, as well as access to the effects banks. The parameter buttons will cycle through your sample banks. To cycle through the sampler outputs, hold Shift and press the parameter buttons. In slicer mode, the 8 pads represent 8 sequential slices in the beat grid. The playing slice is represented by the lit pad. The light will move through the pads as it progresses through each 8-slice phrase. Your track must have a set beat grid for this mode to work. The 72 has a transport mode so that you can perform with Serato Pro even without any additional control hardware or vinyl decks. In the top row, you have pitch bend and pitch slider controls. In the bottom row, you'll find a key lock toggle, sync, and for transport functionality, cue and play pause. To switch between internal and relative mode, press Shift and pad 5. Switching to relative mode will allow you to resume control of playback with control vinyl or control CDs. In addition to the standard modes, you can create up to 3 customized pad sets using Serato DJ Pro's MIDI Mapping feature. To create a custom pad set, hold Shift and press Mode button 1, 3, or 4. Open the Setup menu in Serato DJ Pro and select MIDI. Select 72 and make sure that Allow Serato DJ Hardware Remapping is enabled. In the main Serato DJ Pro window, click the MIDI button at the top of the screen to begin mapping. That covers the pad modes. For more information on the Rane 72 and 12, check out the other videos in the series. Thank you for watching.